What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. My name is Bleaves. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto market. We got a fear and greed index that seems to be popping off. We stay very, very high. Ripple is partnering with Chainlink, bullish. Rostin Behnam from the US CFTC is resigning on January 20th, bullish. Bitcoin is using 100,000 as support, bullish. Everything that you've been waiting for to happen is right on the cusp of happening. Tron continues to outperform Ethereum. It's all coming together. It's only a matter of time. Right now, all you have to do at this point is just sit back, give yourself a little bit of time, wait for it. DevvE is sitting at $1.25 right now, consolidating in its range for another big move. You're in a great place right now. You may not realize it. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that didn't pay attention, I'm going to talk to you about Luna Classic meme tokens today because mine just broke out and went crazy. So if you've been following me for any length of time and you watch me for Luna Classic content, but you don't buy any Luna Classic meme tokens, you're like, man, and I probably don't want to make it because they probably are not going to do anything. And it's probably, and you say shit like that. And that's the way you sound like when you say crazy shit like that in my brain. Well, guess what? You just messed up because food token broke out 100x last night. I'm going to show you in just a few moments. So if you're excited, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And remember, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleaves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, as the dorks say, we're down $85 billion in the market cap today, which means that Bitcoin is going to zero. So if you don't have any Bitcoin right now, then lucky for you, you're going to be able to buy on the dip. But we're down $87 billion because the U.S. market is online right now and they're trying to make some buy. Or look, that's just how they sound in my fucking brain because they're a bunch of idiots and they just... Look, they're trying to sell. They're trying to steal your money from you. If you've gone long or something like that, they're trying to liquidate you because it's not about you making money. It's about, in order for them to make money, they have to steal your money. And it's not called stealing when you make dumb decisions. But you know what a smart decision would have been? Put it all in DevvE. Now, I would never tell you to put it all in to DevvE, but, at this point, it's down 1% today compared to the rest of the market. So if you had done that, you actually made out like a bandit today. Also, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things, but this meme coin market, we're going to talk about that one too, because look at this. We've got a nice day going right now in the total crypto market cap until the last few minutes. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me show you what it looks like when UFA comes online. UFA. So up until 7 o'clock this morning, this market was soaring, having a nice little consolidation. And then the market came online and they were like, hey, you know what would happen if I would just, and whatever the fuck they say in their brain. The USA is autistic. That's all I can say. And I don't speak autism very well. I mean, I do my best to try to, everybody's entitled to an opinion. So anyway, this is what you see happening right here, saying, "Oh, I hang out on time because they're trying to make the money." You know what I mean? So there you have it. A nice little dump for the U.S. market. But here's the thing. We're back in this range right here. So in the event that we mint right here and then right here, that still means bullish sentiment, which means that the next move is probably going to go up into this range just like that. So there you go. We'll see what happens over the next little while. Now, I'm 100% fluent in it. It's called the Forsaken language. So I understand it. All right. Fear and greed index sitting at 78 right now. Let's get into what's going on here. So analysts predict Bitcoin rally as 100K resistance turns to support. What does that look like? Well, it was support until the U.S. market got online and did whatever, gay shit they do. So we had 100 right there and then lost it all the way down to 99 right now, with 96.8 being the next stop along the way at the 200 MA, which is located conveniently down here in your buy to more zone. So we will see whether or not this continues on. But look, the market's going to dip because it wants to attract new investors. There is a real distinct possibility. See that top right there around 96, that we could be dipping down into that 96 range. If you take this out for, let's go with 6 months and see what it looks like right there. You can make a case here that we're going to come down into the late 96 range. That actually plays out pretty perfectly for where the liquidity is. Probably coming down right there to 95.6. Could be that we come all the way down into that 93, 94 range. Right through here, all the way down to this spot right there, leaves a potential opening. Now, what most likely would happen in the event that there is a continuation and that we didn't just sweep out these positions right here, if we're actually going down here, then you're going to look at a cutoff right there. You're going to look at a cutoff right there. You're going to look at a cutoff down here, and then a little bit right there. So any number of levels could be in the cards right now for a breakdown, but the most likely one is right there at 96,200, which is the top on that previous range. So right here, probably where we stop and reverse back up, and then that will be a continuation of this move right here, meaning that it's bullish ultimately. So did not hold 100 support for a very long time. But you know what did hold support? Ripple. Ripple announced that Chainlink integration is on tap, and that's going to boost their RLUSD stablecoin, which traded, by the way, something in the neighborhood of 160 million in volume. RLUSD was launched in December. It currently has a market cap of 72 million, according to CoinGecko. So that's a pretty decent number. It's not the billions, 130 billion, 140 billion that Tether has, but it's doing what it can. 137 billion for Tether right now. So as we go down the list here of stable coins, I don't know which one. I don't know how long it's going to take for Ripple Labs to really kind of break out, but you have 72 million market cap in a month. That could be a big move. I mean, you could see continued levels of mass adoption. The place where most of the I want to say the place where most of the USDT and stuff like that is going to come from is, number one, to support Bitcoin, and number two, to support Ethereum. That's where most of the stables are, and your all-chain volumes over here. Here's your stable coins. Ethereum, out of 137 billion for just looking around the ecosystem, there's two places where the majority of your stable coins are. There's 114 billion in Ethereum, and there's 59 billion in Tron. So That's where the money is. Then you have 7 billion in BSC, 5.5 billion in Solana, 4 billion in Arbitrum. You got 3.7 billion in Base, 2 billion in Hyperliquid, 1.84 billion in Avalanche. You got 1.7 in Polygon, 1.4 in Ton, 1.3 in Optimism, and those are your billionaire chains right now. So that's, it really, the money is consolidated in two places, Tron and Ethereum. So we'll see how this all plays out. Very easy to move your money around. I'm not saying that it just because it's there is not going to, but having that money out there, stablecoin, it's about Ethereum right now. Still about Ethereum until further notice. But let's move on here, because whales have accumulated as Bitcoin price breaks past 99,000. Now, this goes back to previously when we were talking just before. I said we're going to try to hold 100,000. We're not holding 100,000, but 98,000, 99,000 does seem to be a good accumulation period and spot. So that could be where the next bounce comes from. If you're looking and you're one of those guys that likes symmetry, then it looks like the dump might be almost over before taking off from here. Xander Harris asking the question, what's a better buy today in your opinion, DevvE or API3? So for Dev, let's get on that for just a second here, because I do want to talk about that. API3, I think the maximum play on API3 is going to be up in that $50 range in that $100 range to $300, most likely closer to $100. So at roughly $2, you're talking about maybe a 50x. So I do like, and I'll take a 50x on API3. But DevvE is the one that, in my opinion, has the big announcements on tap and is ready for that next level. And here's the thing. Right now, just a couple days ago, this changed slightly. And yes, Caleb, everything just went down. U.S. markets doing U.S. market shit. But DevvE is, I think its next big stop is going to be $50, which is about the same, about a 50x. But ultimately, API3 goes between 100 and 300 because it has a much larger market cap. But in the meantime, I think that the value here for API3 goes up into this 500 and 600 range. I mean, that's the question when it reaches a certain market cap, right? And, if it goes to 10 or 15 billion market cap, and I think both of them are adept at being those big ones. XRP is heading to $27. So Caleb, I would be holding on to it. But I think that, DevvE probably has the more tremendous upside. I mean, I think that should be almost obvious. DevvE clocking in right now at a 47 million market cap, right? And what happens when it goes to a billion market cap? That's 20x away, right? It's 20x away. But when it goes to a 10 billion market cap, that's 200x away. But with API3, it's just different. Let me pop this up here, and you actually, I didn't do that right. There we go. With API3, they already have 193 million market cap and a huge bowl over here, if you will, of liquidity. So I think it's just different. I think that, if I get a 200x off one, I get a 50x off of its other. If DevvE is going to have its own blockchain, our institution is going to pile into blockchain, and what happens to our tokens that are tied to Ethereum. All right, well, let's go back here and let's start with square one. DevvE had a blockchain that launched in 2018 that they've been building on since 2018. There is no going to have its own blockchain. It already has its own blockchain. The difference between DevvE and Ethereum is that Ethereum is permissionless and DevvE is permissioned. And permissioned basically means that it's run by an entity. And that means that somebody is in control. So with that, just like the Onyx chain over at JP Morgan, stuff like that. That's where the big businesses, they want to do business on a permissioned blockchain. They don't want to do business on a permissionless blockchain. And by the way, Onyx blockchain for JP Morgan, while we're on the subject, is a permissioned blockchain that copies Ethereum. but it's permissioned as well. So, that's the thing is when look, I think we can say it at this point. It is my estimation that NASDAQ is DevVE's partner. That's my guess. And they need a permissioned blockchain because they are controlling. If you guys remember, about a year and a half ago now, a little bit over a year ago, I was talking to you about NASDAQ, and I was telling you that NASDAQ is getting into the crypto exchange business and that they were going to do institutional crypto sales. Well, if they're doing institutional crypto sales, then they need to have a blockchain, and which is where I think DevvE kind of fits in because it's a permissioned blockchain. So what is the value of any crypto that suddenly partners with a gigantic entity like NASDAQ? That's my question right now. Now, is NASDAQ the partner? I don't really know. You know what I mean? One day, one of the devs went into chat and he said that there's no competition in their area where DevX, the DevX chain, where it is located, where this exchange is located, it's not competing with Coinbase, it's not competing with Kraken, it's not competing with KuCoin, it's not competing with anybody like that. It's competing with institutions, and that made me think of that made me think of a video that I made back in 2023, which was about NASDAQ. So that's where I got my idea, and I don't know who it is, but that's who I think it is. So if that were the case, then what is that value? Because that value is, start looking around. Who's partnered with BlackRock? Who's partnered with, go find people who are partnered with some of these big companies, and what is their market cap? Chainlink is, of course, partnered with most of these big companies, and their market cap is about 14 billion. And we're not in the bullish phase of the market yet. So it is my estimation that the value of the DevX blockchain is somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 billion at the height of the bull run. So I'm not saying way past the bull run or anything like that. So whatever the market cap is should be close to where Polkadot is. That would be my idea. So if I'm holding on, if I'm right, by the way, I don't know that I'm right, but if I'm right, then DevvE should have a market cap of the same as Polkadot. So there's Polk. So I think that the DevvE is going to be at least $130.66. Now, I do think it's going to be close. It's going to be a little bit higher, in my opinion, but there you go. $130 a coin for something that's sitting at $1.24 right now. So 100x from where it is seems pretty simple to me. If you don't have some DevvE, you are making a mistake. Speaking of making a mistake, by the way, I want to show you guys what happened last night because some of you are not part of the Luna Classic communities, and therefore you don't know. But look at this. My wallet blew up from 2,000 to 3,000 last night because Food Token, which is just one of the cryptos that's in our ecosystem over here, I had $10 worth of Food Token that I got a long time ago. Okay, so I got to be specific with you here. I got Food Token way back here in 2024. So I've been a Food Token holder for a very, very long time. Okay, well, what has happened is, and that was trading at like 6.032. So where are we today? Well, if you look at Food Token, the total value right now, $794. My $10 of Food Token is now $794. And by the way, it is still continuing to pump, which is wild, which is fucking wild. And Maddie B hung up on the name of the token as opposed to the fact that it just went up 79x. Let that sink in. Yeah, so we just went up 79x overnight. Yesterday, this token was $10. Today, $800. If you trade it right now, it's worth 6.2 million Luna Classic or $745. And that's, of course, because there is some slippage there because of liquidity. So It had a gigantic move. It just had a gigantic move. And not only did that one have a gigantic move, there's another meme token over here called Cookie. And the Cookie token had a big move as well. And again, all of this happened just in the last couple of hours. It's absolutely crazy what's been going on in this ecosystem. Cookie, as you can see right here, is up 115%. But look at Cookie's chart ultimately. Again, $10 in Cookie is what I had. Okay. So Cookie was down here again, and Cookie has now exploded to an 8.5 million market cap. And look, I mean, it's so simple here. You could just, this is what it did. It just went up this ridiculous amount. And we're talking about, that's almost, what was that? That was 3, 6, 9, 10, 285 to 8, just went up 100x. My Cookie might have been worth $1 for all I know a couple of days ago, but now it's worth $136 or 1.1 million Luna Classic. So if you didn't have any Luna Classic, or you've been fading this, or you've been not paying attention for a long period of time, shame on you, because you just missed out on some easy money. And that is not my fault. That is your fault, because you didn't listen and you played that dumb game where you decided to buy Hawk Tua token. Haha. All right, so whales continue to accumulate. Let's move on. CFTC chair Rostin Behnam is going to depart on January 20, same date that Donald Trump is sworn in. So the U.S. CFTC and SEC will both lose its corporate Democrat pigs right there. Ta-da. All right. And Muskrat King says, you mentioned Roger in your response yesterday. Is this Roger from AvidPay? Yes, it is. And I don't know what's going on with AvidPay, because I haven't talked to him about AvidPay in a while. We've been focused kind of on DevvE and what's going on in the DevvE ecosystem. So I have no idea what's going on with AvidPay. What I assume, and I don't know if I'm right, but what I assume is that Roger will put more focus on AvidPay and the Avenida crypto ecosystem as we get into the more bullish phase of the market. And as DevvE starts to pump, I would imagine that he would probably take some of the proceeds from DevvE and the DevX pump, and I probably move it over into Avenida and start working on AvidPay becoming a payment provider in some of the Spanish countries that he's been working on before. Remember, I think he was trying to get a payment license in El Salvador, places like that. So that's what I would think is probably going to happen next. But Rostin Behnam going to be out on January 20th. Any thoughts on Volt? Not really. I mean, I mean, as far as Volt goes, I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, that Volt is going to have an explosive move. And I'm pretty sure that Volt is going to be one of those darlings of meme coins when when the money starts floating back around. I think they've done everything right. They're going to have a 50 to 100x. But, look, if you guys remember going back in the old days when I was talking about Volt, Pablo and all these guys were talking about 50 billion market cap and stuff like that. And I just was not comfortable with that. So I said, 5 billion market cap. And I felt uncomfortable with that. I think if Volt goes to 1 billion market cap, it's done a great job. That's my take on it. If Volt goes to, and by the way, my wallet was hacked, for those that don't know. Make sure you hit the like button, by the way. Helps push me up in the algorithm and prevents me from getting hacked again. But my Volt was stolen, so I don't have any Volt anymore. My Volt at the top was like 37,000 at 250 million market cap, which is where it went. So if it goes to 1 billion market cap, that would be worth 140, 150,000, whatever. So I do think that it's going to do that. I just don't think that it's going to go much higher than that. Look, video games, if gaming goes crazy and people start getting excited about the Volt Island or Bullet Rain or something like that, if something like that takes off, then it could go to multi-billion market cap. It could see 2, 3, 4, 5 billion market cap. But when you zoom out and you start looking at video games and you look at them in this space and you start looking for, where's the video games? Like, where's the gaming stuff? And when you come down here, then, what do you have? You have Immutable, which is kind of like the parent of it all, at 2.3 billion, and you have Floki at 1.8 billion, and you have Sandbox at 1.5 billion, Gala at 1.4. You got to go a long way down before you find like a Volt type project here. I don't know that it's got the legs in it to run as high as it needs to, because look, it's just kind of been passed over by a lot of different things. So it will have a run, but currently it's number 974 with a 20 million market cap. I mean, at this point, Volt has become something of a stable coin. You know what I mean? So, I mean, when you look at it for 1 year, it really hasn't done that much. It had one little spike over here. But other than that, for all of this time from, what is this, June until now, it's just been range bound. So it will break out. It will go to, in my opinion, about $1 billion market cap, which is about a 50x from where it is right now. Still be a nice little run, but I just don't think that it's, it's not going to go to 50 billion. None of them are going to go to 50 billion. So that's what I think about Volt. You know what I mean? Like, there are better investments for most people in the market, especially when it comes to altcoins. So if you're going for a video game coin or something like that, then there are probably better options than Volt at this point. As far as ecosystems, as far as developers go, I really like Voltoshi. I really like what he's done. But also, the community used to be something special. And the community that's there now, not nearly as robust as before. So, I don't know if there's a possibility that everything skips Volt by, and not because I don't like it. I'm still going to be a fan of Voltoshi until the end of time. I think Voltoshi, a fantastic job, but sometimes the shit just doesn't work, So, but again, $1 billion market cap for me. A 50x, I would consider that to be a resounding success. You should have sold for 37K. At the end of it, for Matty B's purpose here, at the end of it, I made a few bucks off of it, so I'm not mad. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm all good. So it doesn't matter to me whether what it, at this point what it does. Anyway, let's move on here. Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs attract over 1 billion in combined daily flows. And what did that look like? Well, the flows right here yesterday and today. 1 billion in flows on both days on Bitcoin. So I assume Bitcoin's probably going to do a continuation and continue to pump. But the one that's interesting is the Ethereum one, because it had 59 million and then 128 million. So we're seeing positive flows continue with Ethereum. And look, it's just a matter of time before Ethereum absolutely breaks out and goes crazy. Okay. It's just a matter of time at this point. So, we'll see what happens ultimately in the market. But, we're down $125 billion, by the way. So, oh no, we're going to zero. Oh no. I mean, does anybody even care anymore? Like, I don't even think at this point any of us care when we see this dip, because who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, it's going back up any moment now, and we're going to continue on, and you're going to see Bitcoin at 125,000. Right now we're just trying to, and by the way, again, the entirety of what's happening right now is the U.S. market is trying to steal from you. That's it. The U.S. market is just trying to steal from you. That's it. That's what the U.S. market does. That's what the U.S. market is. I think the phrase is "little bitch." You know what I mean? So, look, we had a dump here off of 108 down to 91. We had a pump here to 102. Now we could be looking at a new paradigm here where, we're in this sort of range, but I think what we're really looking at right now is something more along the lines of this right here, And then down here at the bottom, it seems like we've got this kind of range right there. So, I think that we're probably, and we probably broke out of that just a little bit, but I think that, ultimately, I think we're just kind of in this little range right here, and we're going to bounce around a little bit until we break out to 125,000. So there we go. I don't think about it because I've never heard of it before. So anyway, that's what I think is going on. We got a lot of room down here. If I were you, if I were a betting man, if I were looking for an opportunity and I got a little dry powder on the side, I would set myself another long at 92,000 just in case. My entry on that long was my entry on that long was my entry is 93,349. So if something comes up, I'll set a buy. If it continues to come down, if we continue to see this wick coming down, my estimated liquidation is 89,300. So somewhere in the neighborhood of the bottom of this range right here at 91,000, I'm going to set a buy order, a bigger buy order. Right now it's like 330. So I would set an even bigger buy order down here at about 91.5, 92,000, just to DCA a little bit more. Because then if it runs back up here and it does this, and it will do that again, then it's just gonna end up being a much bigger profit. So it would be worth it to take a shot there. So see what happens. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But the flows are going in, and then finally, before we get into our stuff, Tron price steady as Tron outperforms Ethereum on key metrics. Now, what metrics are they? On-chain metrics. It ranks as one of the most deflationary tokens in the crypto industry, having burned over 8.3 million tokens on Monday. This brings the total supply down to 86 billion compared to 88 billion tokens a year ago. So they've burned 2 billion total tokens of Tron. And look, I told you guys, I think Tron is going to be the next big thing in this market for this cycle. And I think that at its current level, I think Tron is undervalued, and Tron is a top 10. But remember, going back to what we were talking about before, when you start to look at a chain volume and you look at stables, look at the stables right here. Tron has 59 billion in stablecoin, okay, which means that there's a lot of investment in the Tron ecosystem. And then when you start to break it down and you look at the value for a lot of these other ones, then you've got 100 billion on BNB, you've got 134 billion on XRP, 100 billion on Solana, you've got 400 billion on Ethereum. If Tron were to make some way, if you will, if it were to gain some traction, then it would be my estimation that we could see a 500 billion Tron. So, there's a real possibility that of all of the top 10s, Tron is probably the one with the second biggest upside. I think the one with the biggest upside is still going to be XRP, but Tron's going to be pretty close to it. Tron could have just an enormous sort of breakout, where XRP also having an enormous breakout, starts to challenge Ethereum for that number 2 overall crypto. So we could see a flippening of XRP and Ethereum, but Tron could come up here and be a top 5 by the end of it. And remember, a lot of these cryptos are going to break out. They're going to really take off, and they haven't taken off yet. So BNB could be a 2,100, 2,800, could go up to 3,000. It could be Ethereum's price, because there's fewer BNB in circulation, or there's just about as many BNB in circulation as there are Ethereum right now. So you could see BNB and Ethereum start to challenge one another. But Tron, I think, will end up with a market cap coming way up here and just really having a big move. So if you haven't already, and we've already talked about it, but we're going to pop this up one more time. Where does one buy Pepe Meme Killer? It's only available in the pre-sale right now. The launch is still to be determined, but it's gonna launch with a micro cap, by the way. And because it's Pepe, and because they're going to be putting about $1 million, $1.5 million into marketing Pepe meme. So I think that it's going to end up being a $1 billion market cap project. That's just a guess, by the way. But if they launch with a 10 million market cap, that's an easy 100x from here. I do think it's more like 10 billion. So I do think there's a real 1000x potential. And the reason that I say that is because it's not going to flip Pepe. Pepe, by the way, trading at about a 9 billion market cap right now. So it's not going to flip Pepe. But I think Pepe is due for a run to about 100 billion. I think Pepe is going to start challenging Doge pretty soon, up here at that 54 billion range. So I think that, it's going to have a fantastic little run there. So anything named Pepe, I think, has a good opportunity. So anyway, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the DevvE ecosystem. I told you guys in my estimation that this is my conviction play. This is the one for me. And look, I've accumulated a lot, and my bag is, look, I feel really good. I'm just going to put it that way. I feel really good about DevvE, and I think that there's allegedly 4 announcements for this month. The first announcement is what I think is going to be a partnership with NASDAQ. I don't know for sure. Am I going to be disappointed if it's not NASDAQ? Nope. Because, to me, that's not as, for a lot of people, business-wise, that is a big deal. But for me, I'm a degen at heart. So, but I do think it's $1 billion move, a $1 billion play. I think, you're just going to see this thing go explosive. Just explosive very, very soon. And I think you're just going to see it run right up here to about $10. I meant to put that at about $10. So I think you're going to see DevvE break out real soon to $10, and then ultimately rip up here to $50. Depending on how exciting it is that is the case. Consider this. Consider that, right? You know what? Let me pop this up and save it. There we go. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah. All right. 46 million market cap. If it goes to $1 billion market cap, that's 20x from where it is. 20x from $1.20 is $24, right? 20x would be $24. Yeah. So you could be looking at $1 billion market cap goes to right here, $24. So, it's really could have an enormous sort of breakout. And then from there, just continue on into the multi-billion market cap level. Now, to tell you guys my plan, I plan on taking about 50 grand out when it hits $10. And that's going to pay me for, 3 or 4 months. And, just have a little cash on hand, and that's it. That's all I have to do. And then after that, all I have to do is sit back and just wait and see what the market does. All right. So now we're starting to see a much bigger dump. U.S. market doing what can only be described as raggedy bitch ass U.S. market bullshit. USA, I want to say. I'm supposed to be like a yay. You know what I mean? By the way, who knew that Donald Trump being elected would cause all of this dumping in the market? I'm just fucking with you guys. Because I know you're going to cry about it, because you're weak, and but you can't say anything bad about the global leader, Donald Trump. You know what I mean? And that just for some reason makes me laugh. When you cult out like that, just God damn it. Anyway, so down about $150 billion on the day now. Donald Trump dumping the U.S. crypto markets again. Look, we had a high up here of 3.73 trillion under Joe Biden, but as we get closer and closer to Donald Trump, it continues to come down even further. And I know that's not true, by the way, but I know that some of you are sitting here like, this motherfucker, and that for some reason gives me joy. So anyway, it should reverse in the next little while. And I don't know that we're going to have a great day today, but if you go back and you look at the market, I was estimating that we were going to have a dump today. And the reason was actually very simple, because this move right here looked pretty aggressive and it needed to be tamed. So if you look at it from this context right here, you can see we actually came down to that, close to that 0.5 level. So now we should have a reversal up to 344, and then we break back out, and then we start to, we do what we did before. Maybe dip a little bit more, but we're going to come back up here into this range, maybe dip a little bit more over here, and then boom, and then break out from there. Just exactly what the market's been doing. So that's what I think is going to end up happening. So make sure you have some DevvE. If you don't, it might be because the fish are gay. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah. Ticker trending yesterday, for those of you that don't know, ticker trending, the money. So here's the thing, for those of you that don't know, MSI, Monkey Soul Inu, I'm partnered with these guys. Pablo is a friend of mine, has been a friend of mine for a long time. Now, what he's doing is he's using ticker trending, and when ticker trending earns revenue, and what is ticker trending, you might be asking yourself. Ticker trending is just like Dex Tools. It's a place where you can go. It's like Dex Tools, Dex Screener, stuff like that, where you can go and you can check price action. You can check everything that you need to check about some of the cryptos. And as he adds more cryptos, there'll be a bigger ecosystem. And if you and you earn money off of it in transaction fees and stuff like that. And with those fees, Pablo uses that to buy back Monkey Soul and take it off of the market, leading eventually to a crunch in price action. So what you'll see here is, even though the market is dipping, MSI's up 1%. And by the way, MSI's got a long way to go. And by the way, just so you guys understand, when I was talking about Volt earlier, Leo, you were asking the question about Volt. I think that MSI will go to 250 million market cap. And I'm not banking on anything, but I think Pablo is pushing for at least Volt's previous top, which is 250 million. So I think that that's about a 65x from where it is right now. I think it's almost assured that you're going to get a 65x off of MSI. Now, for those of you who don't know, MSI was attacked, and Gempad stole money from MSI. Gempad is a criminal platform that steals money once a year from cryptos that launch on their platform. By the way, I got some, when this was happening there were 27 different cryptos that suddenly got hacked in Gempad, where the liquidity was locked. And it turns out the same thing happened a year ago for 3 other projects. So it looks like once a year, Gempad and their criminal enterprise piece of shit, low-life dirtbags probably steal from investors. And, that's it. MSI contract is in chat right now. E3SPN is the MSI contract. But anyway, so I think it's going to be an easy 60x from here, and I'm just going to hold on to it for a while. And by the way, wait for the meme coin explosion. And look, every day there's a new crypto doing 100 or 1,000x. It's a tale as old as time. There's always going to be, there's always going to be cryptos that will take off and have little pumps and shit like that. However, I think we all did. I made a profit on it, but just because I happened to sell like half of it, and I didn't catch the top by any means, but I made money off of it. So when I lost that other half, and there's, at this point, there's nothing you can do. Gempad, look, they used Gempad. That was a mistake, but nobody knew that was going to be a mistake. You know what I mean? Who knew that Gempad was a bunch of thieves that stole from people? So, and I can't say anything to Gempad now because they blocked me on social media because I'm out here, every day talking about what a scam organization they are, what a bunch of dirtbags and all that kind of bullshit. So we'll see what happens. But I do think that Monkey Soul is going to be at least, and look, by the way, my number for Monkey Soul was a 500 million market cap. That, in my idea, was the top of MSI, and that is a 125x from where we are right now. So it is my estimation that Monkey Soul is going to go 125x at least. Now, I think that's the top of it. That to me is around the top. Now, Pablo seems to think that it's going to go into the billions. So if it does, great. I'm going to be holding no matter what. I just think that, look, here's the way I see it. If Monkey Soul goes to 40 cents, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I will take out, 20, 30,000 and pay myself. That'll be it. And then hold the rest. Why did Pablo just desert the MSI on ETH, guys? He couldn't even put 2K in the project to help it. That's ridiculous. All the money was stolen. Why would he put $2,000 in when he just got robbed for $250,000, I want to say? Like, he could at least bridge the supply from ETH to Sol and LP it. What is happening here? Sure. I don't know what to say, man. You're right. You're right. Pablo, who got robbed for $500,000 from Gempad, could have just thrown more money at people so that they could take a 90% loss. It just doesn't make any sense. I get what you're saying, but once you've been stolen from and once it's been lost, it's gone. You know what I mean? By the way, for those of you that don't know, I launched a token before, and I was not and am not doing shit with it. But it was called Elon Muskrat. And like, I just launched it, and people, kind of forced me into make something of it. And then I got hacked and my wallet was stolen. And look, the Elon Muskrat only had like a few bucks. I mean, like, it really was not, hold on, Elon Muskrat. I'll show you guys. Right here. Well, that doesn't seem right. 8 months ago certainly does not seem right. So it's got to be on Ethereum here. All right. Well, maybe not. I mean, maybe I fucked this up somehow. Let's try this one more time. Muskrat. All right, let's try this. Let's try Muskrat. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, I launched one and somebody stole the liquidity out of it because they hacked my wallet in the liquidity pool. And I mean, actually, maybe this is, no, that's not it. Anyway, a bunch of scammers stole my wallet. And by the way, I didn't realize at the time, because I was doing this for another project. And the project was called 100x Gems, and they created their own contract creator. So I created a contract for them and deployed it, and then just decided to throw, like 0.1 ETH into it, something like that, just to get it started. And then people tried to turn it into something more than it was and shit like that. And I think overall, the liquidity on it was, like, it's not even near any of these other ones, like CC Coin. CC Coin has 85,000 in liquidity. Like, I think that Elon Muskrat had like 10,000 in it. You know what I mean? Like, it had 10 to 14,000, I want to say. So, if I get a big win on crypto enough that I've got an extra $15,000, $20,000, and I'm going to relaunch something. It's not going to be from DevvE, by the way, for anybody who's wondering. If I get a nice 100x from one of these meme coins, I will throw, I'll throw a few bucks into one, and I will launch something, and we'll see what happens from there. Like, I have no idea what will happen, but we'll take. We're not going to take another shot at it. By the way, we're not going to support and do anything with it unless I'm really convinced there's a purpose or a use or something like that. I'm not doing it just to do it. I just didn't like that to begin with, but maybe something will happen. It'll be launched on Solana. It'll be launched on Sui. It'll be launched on Tron, something like that. It won't be launched on Ethereum. I can tell you that. So we'll see. But anyway, if you are interested, certainly go check out MSI. MSI is going to have that 125x to 200 gonna have 50 to 125x in a run. You know what I mean? You bullish on Daddy by Rodney? No, I'm not. I'm not in the least. That's to me ridiculous, because at very best, I put in, just to clarify here with Rodney's token here, I think I put money in at like 30 cents somewhere over here. I think it goes way back. Yeah, it goes way back there. I put in at like 30 cents on Daddy. And this looks like the most colossal rug pull that you've ever seen in your life. Okay. And by the way, look, I'll tell you guys, I'll be honest with you. I thought, or I considered, that Rodney and I were friendly, if not friends. And, I thought that, at some point, maybe we could do something together, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what was going to go on, but Rodney said, make a video and I'll send you some tokens. I made a video. He never sent me any tokens. As a matter of fact, and by the way, I never asked, because, that's just not my lane. Like, if you don't give a shit about me, then fine. But you can see right here, going back to June of last year is the last time that Rodney replied to any text that I sent. So I stopped sending him texts about 3 months ago. He's got whatever relationship him and Jake have is their business. I'm not here to judge. It's their lane. They can do whatever it is that they want, with whomever they want, however they want. I put, because I thought, it would be funny for me to be supportive of Rodney. I put in $35 in Daddy. Let me see what it's worth now, because it's almost historically ridiculous. I put in $35 and it's now worth $2.50. So if this crypto were to 20x, I'd get my money back, like 15x, I would get my money back. So now, don't forget, I don't even understand what happens here sometimes. As far as that goes, Pablo continues to work every day. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened. I don't follow this shit. Like, guys, look, people come out to me I don't work for the news. People come to me for promos. As long as the liquidity is locked and they can't steal from you, then I'm going to make a promo. If it's a promoted project, and by the way, Pablo still believes in Promethean Prodigy. I don't know who the person is. I have no idea who's behind it. But Pablo reached out to me about Promethean Prodigy, about doing, some kind of promo stuff for it. And I said, sure. So, but that doesn't mean that I work for the team and know what the fuck they're doing. I have no idea what's going on. However, if you come over to Promethean Prodigy, then you will note that Promethean Prodigy is part of this, and it's in this ecosystem. Here's all tickers right here. And as you go through, you will find Promethean Prodigy in here. So, and he says that he thinks it's going to have an explosive move at some point. Whether it does or not, I don't know. It's not my lane. My lane right now is MSI. That's what I'm worried about. MSI, 125. So, I just earn more of Daddy when it keeps going down. I don't know. Earning more of nothing means nothing. Oh, anyway, to summarize, Rodney stopped replying to me back in June of last year, and I haven't talked to him since. So I have no idea what's going on. And by the way, the reason that happens most likely is because they ran out of money for promotion. And so yeah, the difference between Pablo and Rodney is that I talk to Pablo. Pablo responds. Pablo and I have conversations. Rodney and I don't have conversations. I reached out to Jake Gagan the other day to ask Jake Gagan about something, and he replied immediately, and we had a conversation. But after that, he never replied. So, I was doing it for somebody else, because I said, hey, you know what? I know Jake. Maybe I can reach out to him. and see if he'd be willing to do something with you. So I sent out a message to Jake. Jake replied. After he replied, he then he never replied again. So that was December, and I sent him all the links and everything that he requested, and he didn't do shit. So yeah, I mean, they're not in my lane. It's okay. Ben, I haven't talked to Ben by the way, just to, I guess I should probably say this, because I'm not saying that, I am the bad friend, by the way. Okay. I am the bad friend when it comes down to it, because I don't do a very good job of saying hi and saying what's up and, shit like that. Like I'm a horrible friend when it comes down to it. Last time I talked to Ben was October, and I was joking around with him, and he said that my circle is small and I intend to keep it that way. For somebody reached out to me and asked me about a promo, and would Ben be interested in doing some kind of promo for one of their projects? And I said no, but I can, I'll screenshot it and send it over. And he declined. That was it. I've talked to Cassie in the meantime, but I haven't talked to Ben. So, hi, is Bow and Mystery dead? Nothing is dead. No, I don't know what to say. I look, guys, if you need constant stimulation for your cryptos, there's a possibility you're just not going to make it in this market. Okay. Some of these projects are supported. Some of them are not. Bow, China did not open up crypto yet. When China opens up crypto, Bow will go out of its mind crazy, in my estimation. Mystery, I don't know. Mystery might do something, might not do something. I mean, everybody's asking, if you don't go to a 20 or 40 million market cap on your launch, then you're going to look like a Rodney My Crypto Journey launch. Like, that's what's going to happen. Now, the other thing is, at some point, if Rodney gives a shit about it at all, and if it wasn't just a cash grab, and there is a possibility that Rodney and Jake just kind of set this thing up because it was an opportunity for them to create something in the base ecosystem and get noticed in base. Because if you remember, Rodney did some stuff with Coinbase for a while. You know what I mean? So there is a possibility that he comes back and it rips up into this $2 to $3 range right here. And then because it's in the base ecosystem and base blows up, it could go absolutely bonkers and crazy. I don't think there's much of a likelihood of it because it looks more to me like, they're not doing anything, or I haven't seen anything. Let's go to Twitter. And what is Daddy doing over here? It's not promoting, it's doing news. It's doing Binance stablecoin reserve. Switzerland considers creating a Bitcoin reserve. It's not doing anything. You know what I mean? It's set to auto send news out, by the way. If you notice, it has a Tether add 700 million to its Bitcoin holdings. And then you have a news article, a quick news article. And what it's doing is it's doing the same thing over and over again. You can see that right there, all in caps, and then a space, and then, a subtext or something like that. So what it's doing is it's just auto running. I do the same thing, by the way. So it's just auto running news articles that are, basically Bitcoin stuff. It's not doing anything positive for cryptocurrency. Like, it's not doing anything for itself. So it's probably dead. He's probably just done with it. They probably made their money and they're finished. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, and then that leads us to Coins Chick Coin right here. Just say good morning. Not here to shill anything. It's dumped kind of, let's see, right here. So Coins Chick Coin the other day had a significant run and a significant pump up here. And then as soon as that happened, you saw that big sell-off, and then you saw that big continued sell-off. Well, when you look at it from an impulse move standpoint, and you take it right there, you're actually in the lower part of your zone here for a big and dramatic move. So I would estimate that sometime right here, we're going to reverse. Once it reverses, probably a move into this range right here. So I would say 304 is going to be the next impulse move for CoinsChick coin. It's just retracing right now because, I mean, look, it's just consolidating at a new all-time high. What did it do? Made a big move right here, consolidated right here, made a big move right here. Looks like it's going to consolidate in this range. Now, the question is, did this move finish? And that's really all there is to it. So we'll see whether or not it has or has not, and then, we'll make a determination based upon that. But anyway, that's my time. I am off for the day. I'm still working on camera angles and shit like that, trying to get studio like kind of redone here. I wanted to do green screen on the background, by the way. Like I was looking at doing like a green screen for the back. And then once I started thinking about the green screen, then I thought like, I saw the other day somebody using a green screen in the background and it was glowing and all like their hue and everything. They just looked green. And I was like, gross. You know what I mean? So, but I have AI tools for a background. So I don't think that I would have that kind of green sort of hue or glow or anything like that, but just not there yet. Like it's a $20 bucket of paint to just paint this wall. And it probably takes like 15 minutes because it's only like 1, 2, 3 of the walls here. So, run a roller over it and it's done in a few minutes. So could be that within the next couple of days, you see some changes here, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, that's my time, guys. You have a good day and we'll talk to you again very, very soon. It's not financial advice, but I'm always 2024 was a massive year for Cryptonomy.finance, and 2025 expects to be even bigger. Folks, we're getting into the bull run right now, and to celebrate, Cryptonomy is having a New Year giveaway with a chance to start 2025 with something quite extraordinary. The prizes up for grabs at Cryptonomy are a Range Rover autobiography. 3 winners will receive 1 Bitcoin each. There'll be 30 iPhone 16 Pro Max winners and 100 winners of $100 in Pepe. And how you participate is this: open and hold active margin positions on Cryptonomy's trading platform, invest in the Launchpool during the eligibility period, and entries will close on January 11 at 11:59 p.m. UTC. The winners will be announced on January 12. So what does that look like? All right, I ain't no fool. So we're going 20,000 into the Launchpool contract. Now I'm going to use the bronze level. We've created the contract, so we are locked in. Also, the second thing that we had to do was set up a margin trading position. My position right now on my Bitcoin long is 148.5%. On Ethereum, 123.76. We're getting into the bull run right now. We're going to open up a long with 50 Solana. We're going to take that position right now. 148% is the expected profit. We're going to use a 10x leverage position, and we've confirmed. And now we have another position open, 50 Solana this time. Let's see how this goes. I think these are going to be incredible returns. Join me on this journey. Now look, we already know a lot about Cryptonomy and its strengths, and I'm excited to highlight them again. As someone who's worked with the company for a long time, I'm confident to say that 2025 is set to be a breakthrough year. With major updates and collaborations on the horizon, Cryptonomy is ready to soar to new heights. You can earn great passive returns on staking and other programs. You can gain exclusive bonuses, including Cryptonomy token airdrops at their launches in early 2025, and enjoy countless other perks that come with being part of this growing ecosystem. Now is the perfect time to get involved. Don't miss your chance to benefit from everything Cryptonomy has to offer and kickstart your journey with a winning opportunity.